Yo, what's up, guys? So, coming back here, getting through our copywriting module. So, talking about utilizing infographics. So, basically, everything we talked about, core principles of copywriting, making sure everything's skimmable, clear and concise, engaging. Infographics are a phenomenal way to do that, break everything down into a lot less words and say a lot more, which is kind of the name of the game when it comes to copy. So, let's get into it. So, why use infographics? All the reason I just said, it's skimmable, clear and concise, engaging, and it's just a natural way to split up big blocks of text. Again, just to reiterate, if we hit our customers with a bunch of big blocks of text, they're going to zoom out. If we have attention spans that are really 3 seconds, realistically, used to be 3 to 5, 5 to 10 maybe, but with that going a lot further down, you need something that's going to grab and engage your customer, also something that's going to be very clear. Infographics are a perfect way to do this. So here's one example. So checklists. So throughout, and just to preface, throughout the series of this video, going to go through all different types of ways that we can utilize these infographics, different formats. And if you check in our templates, either throughout the flows or the campaigns, you're going to see a lot of different infographics that are easy to plug and chug, whatever we want to put in there for our brand. So first one is going to be checklists. Checklists turn, very boring benefit paragraphs into easy to scan lists. People see lists a lot better. People aren't going to tune out, and you can list all of your benefits in a very easy, clear, and concise way. Each check feels like a progress confirmation. It's very satisfying for the brain and easily helps people move from point to point. Less effort for the reader, more conversions. Checklists, you'll see a lot of these when you do check out our templates. Icon graphics are universally understood. Essentially, there's no translation needed, and they're essentially visual shortcuts for the brain. They help you visualize. If, for example, on the left, we have a supplement here. Instead of, listing out all the benefits or writing it into a paragraph, big wall of text, obviously things we want to avoid, breaking it into clear icons, clearly highlighting all the different benefits, boost focus, improve blood flow, boost antioxidant levels, however you want to phrase it. But also with the little picture next to it, it adds a bit of personality without vastly overcomplicating the design, and it feels modern, professional, opposed to more plain lists. Feature diagrams are awesome. So feature diagrams clearly show what someone's getting for the product, makes it super easy. Obviously, these are two really good examples here, but they're really great for products that are a little more unique, newer, might not tell you exactly what it is right off the bat. So maybe back in the day, right when BlendJet became a thing, it's portable blender, but you can point different arrows to what the on off button is, where the charging is, where the lid is, where the blend blade is, and kind of explain that and make it very easy and very digestible for the reader. If you have shoes, you can instead of just showing pictures of shoes that might look generic, you can point out different things to highlight on there: the air cushion, breathable mesh, anti-slip, things of that nature. And it helps a lot with objection handling, because then people start to understand what the real benefits of the product are, overcome cost objections, and it's great for technical products where the features really matter at the end of the day. Timelines are awesome. Humans love stories. Humans think of stories, and timelines turn your product or your brand into a journey, essentially. And these are perfect for talking through either your brand story, explaining in a post-purchase flow what people are going to be getting, especially if it's an item that takes longer to ship, assemble, manufacture, whatever it may be. Something along the lines of, week one, our order just made it to the warehouse. They've already started putting together your new shoes. And then, week two, talk through that's going to be shipping, and you can expect to see it week three. And if you want to get more granular, you can actually walk them step by step of what the manufacturing process is, if that's something that works for your brand. Brand timelines build authority, credibility, start small, grew big, trusted by thousands, and can help readers picture themselves at each step, essentially. And it just helps out map out the customer journey, showcase, the history of the brand, product, the story, how it came to be, all that good stuff. Numbered lists, simple, super easy way to display information, make it a lot more engaging instead of blocks of copy. So imagine you have a paragraph with 4 to 5 different sentences or points. You can break this up in, 1, 2, 3, 4. I love the example on the right because not only do you talk through the headline, the subheadline, whatever you want to call it, but you also have a little short text that also explains what's going on in each image. And it just makes it super digestible, clear and concise, skimmable, and it's something very easy for people to read through. And yeah, numbered lists are really awesome. Creates a lot of rhythm in the email, keeps the eyeballs moving down. Then obviously you're going to want to have a CTA right at the bottom of it, and with most of these. Comparison charts, phenomenal. We use these almost in every welcome flow we do, where we have typically an us versus them email, which just explains essentially why we're better than our competitors and breaks it down into very simple, easy to read chart right here. Great for highlighting different advantages of your product, of your brand, whether it's price, features, quality, etc. This one by Dr. Squatch on the left is awesome, talking about mainly through the product, kind of what makes it unique, free of harsh chemicals, preservatives, environmentally conscious, the scents, nourishing oils, and then making it very clear that Dr. Squatch, we have these commercial soaps, our competitors, you're not going to get the same level of quality. So super powerful tool for converting on the fence shoppers, and it removes a lot of the doubt, makes the decision making much smoother, and takes away a lot of the friction there. Tables are phenomenal when you want to organize more complex info, so the brain doesn't have to work quite as hard. So think product tiers, pricing, bundles, things of that nature. It's spreading out different sections. It's much easier for the brain to follow and comprehend at the end of the day. It makes the structure look, or makes everything look more structured, more professional, and it has a visual trust factor. Tables often feel, more like official labels, and that's just kind of a little trick with the brain. So if we go to this from Breeze, this would be a lot of information to put in a paragraph form. So you kind of have to find ways to break it up because you have 3 different products, and then you also have the name of the blend, the active ingredients, and then obviously the effects. But this combines it all into one that's super easy to read, super clear, and helps point people in the right direction to find the product that's the best fit for them. And then not last, but we have flowcharts next. And flowcharts are awesome. This is something that our team does all the time, but it's basically just a quick flowchart, really demonstrative way to showcase not only the different uses of your product, but also if this product or brand is a good fit for you. So if we follow this one for, I'm not 100% sure which company this is, but got a job? Yes. Do you need to carry much stuff? No. Laptop and notes. Coast to work with Tokyo laptop bag in hand, and then you're gonna have more down here. But got a job? No. Do you want a job? Yes. I'm on the hunt. No. Retirement. And then people visually are gonna map through this flow chart by themselves, go through it, and ideally, and at the end of the day, drive conversion because you're pointing them in the right direction and finding the path that obviously fits them best. If it's a supplement and you want to break it up to, do you need energy, do you need relaxation? Okay, we're going to point you to product A. Or if you need relaxation, we're going to point you to product B. Helps customers self-select, and you still in this tackle a lot of the objections, and it makes emails a lot more engaging, more entertaining, and much less salesy because it's something that people can follow along by themselves, and a very fun, creative way to really just guide the decisions. And then last but not least, we have graphs. So graphs, numbers, especially when they're written out, can be very dry, but graphs just give that visual sense of proof. Example, bar chart showing 85% of customers saw results in 30 days. If you put that in a graph, that's actually something that we love to A/B test, is just writing it out maybe in a headline, but then also having a graph and seeing kind of which converts better. And most of the time, at least in the tests that I've seen, graphs work a lot of the time, but people trust data more when it looks official and makes the benefits look measurable, believable. And a graph tends to look more like evidence opposed to an empty promise. So right here, you can see these different studies that this brand Live Fresh did. So just talking about controlling overnight plaque buildup and reduced plaque after morning brushing. And you can see the difference between Live Fresh and the control group. Obviously, I think for Live Fresh, they actually have different studies like this. and those are typically linked in the email, or at least mention how they got there. But just kind of showing how you can break all this into graphs and put it into, more digestible content, something that looks more official and obviously builds that trust with your customers. So these are just a couple of the types of infographics that our team has used far and wide, and these have worked really well for us. Like I said, we're going to have tons and tons of templates in the campaigns and the flows, and almost every example of these will be found in there. So feel free to plug and chug, get creative with them, but an awesome way to make your copy skimmable, clear and concise, engaging. And yeah, thank you guys very much for taking the time, and we'll see you in the next video.